kids, how are y'all? I hope you've had a great week. I hope you've been doing your daily Bible reading and that you memorized your verse. I wonder where y'all are putting those swords with your verse on it so that you can say it every time you go by. Are you putting it on the mirror? Are you putting it on the door? Maybe you're sticking it on your little brother or sister. But you need to remember that you're planting those words in your heart so that when you're in a place where you might be scared, you can remember the verse about God always being with you. So tonight I'm going to introduce the book, It Will Be Okay. And we're going to read this book together. You want to come sit down with me and read it? It will be okay, trusting God through fear and change. In a dusty shed on a rickety shelf, hidden in a cozy packet, lived a tiny seed. Day after day, the little seed watched as the farmer came to the shed. The farmer's strong hand would reach down into the packet and he would say, "I have a plan for you, a good plan for you," each time he picked out the seed. Little Seed knew the farmer was good and that the farmer was kind, but he did not want to leave his home. Little Seed liked living inside the cozy packet on the rickety shelf in the farmer's dusty shed. He did not want to go. In the nearby woods, under the big tall trees, in a comfy den, lived a little playful fox. Little Fox raced around the tree trunks in the woods. "Yippee!" he would shout with glee. But then a long black shadow would scare him, and he would hurry and hide in his den. He was scared of dark shadows and howling winds and the rain, almost everything. Little Fox liked his comfy den under the big tall trees in the nearby woods. He did not like being afraid. One particularly dark night, a storm rumbled through the forest. Thunder boomed, lightning flashed, rain poured into the fox's den. "Oh no!" Little Fox cried as he scurried through the woods, trying to find somewhere safe and dry and not so scary. He barreled inside the farmer's dusty shed, bumped into the rickety shelf, and knocked over the cozy seed packet. Little Seed rolled out onto the floor. A surprised Little Fox found himself standing nose to nose with a very unhappy Little Seed. "I am Little Fox, and I live in a den under the big tall trees in the nearby forest," he explained. "I love to play in the woods, but I'm afraid of dark shadows and howling winds," he said. "There is no winds or shadows in your shed. Can I live here with you? Will you be my friend?" Little Seed said, "Do you see a pillow? Do you see a bed? Do you see a place to lay your wet head? No, you don't, because this safe place is the farmer's shed." But the Little Seed thought of how safe and warm it was in his tiny, cozy little packet on the rickety shelf in the farmer's dusty shed, and he thought, it might be quite nice to have a friend. The Little Fox and the Little Seed became best friends. Little Seed told silly stories and Little Fox made funny faces. Each day when the farmer came to the shed, the Little Fox would run away and hide. But the farmer was good and the farmer was kind, and the farmer was always watching over them, even when they didn't know it. One morning, the farmer came into the shed, as he had many days. "Little Seed," he said as he placed the seed in his hand, "I have a wonderful plan for you. I have waited for just the right time, and today is the day." "Oh no, please no, I don't want to go," thought the Little Seed. And the farmer went outside and knelt down, and he pushed the Little Seed into the ground, into the dirt, and down to the deep, dark, messy place. "Now, Little Seed, this is going to be different, and it might seem scary, but it will be okay. You can trust me," said the farmer. Little Seed wished he were inside in the cozy packet on the rickety shelf in the farmer's dusty shed. "I want to trust even when I can't see, but how in the world is this good for me?" "Little Seed, come back," cried Little Fox when he saw the farmer take him away. "Where are you, Little Seed?" He looked into the front of the shed, he looked behind the shed, but Little Seed was not there. He looked on top of the tractor, he looked under the tractor, But Little Seed was not there either. He looked under the duck's wing. He looked inside the dog's floppy ears. He looked in the horse's stall and the pig pen and even the farmer's boot. But Little Seed could not be found anywhere. Now Little Fox was really worried. Little Seed, he shouted. I'm here, way down in the dirt. I'm scared and I'm lonely, but I'm not hurt. Come, Little Seed, muffled voice came right from below. Little Fox thought hard for something to say or something to do. Well, how can I help my friend that is scared? But he was afraid too. It's different and scary to be somewhere new, but it will be okay, said Little Seed. Little Seed was not so sure, and neither was Little Fox. But the farmer was good, and the farmer was kind, and the farmer was always watching over them, even when they didn't know it. Little Fox stayed by the Little Seed night after night and day after day. He was scared and lonely too. But after a while, Little Fox started to see how the farmer took care of them. Fresh water for the Little Seed, sweet berries for the Little Fox. He wasn't even quite so afraid when he saw the dark shadows or heard the howling wind. Little Fox was starting to believe that the farmer was good and the farmer was kind. My friend, whispered a sleepy Little Fox to the Seed, go to sleep. Everything will be okay. Little Seed sat in the dark and a messy place for what seemed like a very long time. But one spring morning, Little Seed felt a mysterious stirring. He looked down and discovered he was no longer a little seed. He was becoming something brand new, something wonderful. He pushed up through the dark and out of the dirt and right through the ground. And there, looking, was a sleepy-eyed Little Fox in surprise at his friend. Look, there's Little Seed and there's Little Fox. Little Fox looked around and saw his beautiful green sprout. My friend! They exclaimed to each other at the same time. They were once again nose to nose. Little Seed told silly stories and Little Fox made funny faces. After many days of fun, Little Seed said, Little Fox, look up and see. It's hard to believe what's become of me. From the messy dark place I grew and grew, from the seed to a tree. Only the farmer knew. Together they made it through the dark and the scary time, and together they each learned that the farmer was good and the farmer was kind, and the farmer was always watching over them, even in the dark, messy places. Little Seed was never supposed to just be a seed in a seed packet. Little Fox was not supposed to be alone and afraid. The seasons came and the seasons went, and Little Seed grew up to be a big and strong tree. And the Little Fox raced around the tree trunk, and sometimes Little Fox laid in the tall, cool grass next to the Little Seed. And the breeze tickled his nose, and the sun warmed his belly, and the good and kind farmer always was watching over them. Little Seed liked things the way they were, and Fox was sometimes afraid. But just as they learned to trust the farmer, we can learn to trust God. We do not need to fear. He has a plan for us. God loves you and God is kind. And in the end, it will really be okay.